Welcome to Pumpin' Python. My name is Jacob Itegboje, and this is part 1 of 5 where I show an approach to writing a program that calculates the difference between a given wake and sleep time. Time to write some code. I'll open up a terminal, control and tilde on the keyboard, then type /make python tdd.sh. Give sleep underscore duration as my project name. Hit enter to run the script, which will make all the files I need, and run the first test. I get an assertion error, true is not false. I will hold down Control or Option on the keyboard, and then click on the file name to open it in the editor. Change true to false to make the test pass. And then change the class name to capwords to match Python convention, capital D, capital S. Then I'll change the name of the test from failure to duration underscore W underscore hours. I'll change assert false here to assert equal. Select false and hit enter to create a new line between the parentheses. I get a type error. Test case that assert equal missing 2 required positional arguments, first and second. I will add that to the list of exceptions encountered. Hashtag type error. Then for my positional arguments, give none and none. I'll change the first one to a reference to the module I'm testing, sleep underscore duration, which gives me a name error. Name sleep duration is not defined. I will add that as an exception encountered. Hashtag name error. Then add an import statement at the top, hit enter. Import sleep underscore duration. I get an assertion error. Module sleep duration from the path to the file is not equal to none. I will add a reference to something in the file. Dot duration. I get an attribute error. Module sleep duration has no attribute duration. That's going in the list of exceptions as well. Attribute error. Then I will click on the Explorer, click and drag sleep duration.py to the left side of the editor, release it so I can see the 2 files at the same time, and close the Explorer. Then add the name, duration. I get a name error. Name duration is not defined. I'll define it by assigning it to none. In the test, I will add a call to duration by putting parentheses at the end, which gives me a type error. Non-type object is not callable. I will change it to a function to make it callable. Def duration parentheses a colon at the end. Hit enter, change the equal sign to return, return none. I want the duration function to take in a wake time, wake underscore time, and assign that value to quote 08 colon 00. I get the type error. Duration got an unexpected keyword argument wake time. The name is missing in the function signature. I will add it and assign the default value to none. Wake underscore time and none. I also want the duration function to take in a sleep underscore time. Assign that value to code 07:00, which gives me a similar type error. Duration got an unexpected keyword argument sleep time. The name is missing in the function signature. I will add it, comma, sleep underscore time as a default value of none. And then I'll change the expectation from none here. I want the input, so give me quote 08:00. Put a comma here, quote 07:00. I get an assertion error. None is not equal to 8 o'clock and 7 o'clock. The duration function returns none. I will change it to match the expectation. Quotes 08:00. Put a comma after that. And quotes 07:00. The test passes. The 8 o'clock and 7 o'clock here are repeated in the expectation. I will add variables to remove them or remove the repetition. Wake underscore time. And that's going to be quote 08:00. I will make a copy of the line, Control or Command C, Control or Command V to paste. Change that second line to sleep underscore time and the 8 o'clock to 7. Now I can change these values to references. 8 o'clock becomes wake underscore time. 7 o'clock becomes sleep underscore time. In the expectation, 7 becomes sleep underscore time. And 8 o'clock becomes wake underscore time. The test is still passing when I change wake time to 9 o'clock. I get an assertion error. Duration returns 8 and 7. The test expects 9 and 7. I'll change 8 to 9 to make it match. The test passes when I change sleep time to 6. I get an assertion error. Duration sends 9 and 7. The test expects 9 and 6. I'll change 7 to 6 in duration. And the test passes. I do not want to keep changing wake time and sleep time every time I have an idea or to test the duration function, then also make a change in duration. It would be better to use random numbers. I will add an import statement here, import space random. Then come down to before wake time, hit enter twice, add a variable wake underscore hour. Assign that to random.randint parentheses 0, 23. Then make a copy of the line. Control or Command C. Paste the copy below. Control or Command V. Change that wake hour in the second line to sleep hour. Random.randint 0, 23 here will give me a random number from 0 up to and including 23 for the 24 hours in a day. I know from the video on how to pass values, I can interpolate those random numbers in wake time and sleep time. I'll put an F here to make it an F string. Curly braces around 09 wake underscore hour. Do the same thing for sleep time. F string. Curly braces around the 06 sleep underscore hour. I have an assertion error. I get two random numbers now on the right side, and duration returns 9 and 6 every time it is called. When I hit save, I get two different numbers. The format is different though. In duration, there's a 0 when the numbers are less than 10 before the number itself, but here on the right, it's missing that 0. To make it show two digits with a leading 0, I put a colon after wake hour, colon 02, and do the same thing to sleep hour, colon 02. Now the timestamps look correct. There's a 0 in front of this number. When I hit save again, yes, 0 for numbers less than 10. Save again. All right, the timestamp formats match, and the test is sending in random numbers. I will change duration to match. 6 o'clock should be sleep underscore time. And 9 o'clock will be wake underscore time. The test passes. I will change my expectation now to give me wake time minus sleep time. I want a calculation. And I get a type error. Unsupported on-parent type for minus, string, and string. The timestamps are strings, and I cannot subtract one string from another. I will undo to go back to what was working. I want to see if I can get just the hours part of the timestamp. I will make a call to the help system to read the documentation for strings to see if there's a method that can help. Self.assert equal parentheses, and then call help parentheses. Give it the string constructor str, and I see the documentation for the string module in the terminal. I will read through this to see which one can help. Return a translation table usable for string. No. Create and return a new object. No. Pad a numeric string with zeros on the left. That is this thing here. Return a copy of the string converted to uppercase. No, no. Replace each character in the string using the given translation table. No. Return a version with no. Convert uppercase. No. Return a copy of the string with leading and trailing white space removed. No. Return true if no. Return the list of the lines in the string breaking on line boundaries. I only have one line. Return a list of the substrings in the string using sep as the separator string. Sep is the separator used to split the string. Note, string.split is mainly useful for data that has been intentionally delimited. This looks promising. I'll try it. I remove the call to the help system. Hit enter here. def test underscore string underscore split in parentheses self a colon at the end. Hit enter. Self dot assert equal parentheses enter to create a new line in the parentheses. Then quotes 01 colon 23. Call dot split on it parentheses. Put a comma and set my expectation as none. Assertion error 0123 in quotes inside a list is not equal to none. I will change that none to match quotes 01 colon 23. The test passes. The split method returns a list. Right now, that list is the timestamp that I called it with, or the string I called the split method with. The documentation said that split takes in a separator. What happens if I give it quotes and a colon? I get an assertion error, list differ. I have 0, 1, 23. That's the split. All right. And the test passes. I know how to get the hours and minutes. I will come down here, add that to the expectation, week time dot split parentheses quotes and a colon. And then sleep time dot split parentheses quotes and a colon. I get an assertion error. Duration returns the timestamps, and the test expects the result of splitting them. I will do the same thing. Week time dot split parentheses quotes a colon. Sleep time dot split parentheses quotes colon. And the test passes. Time to clean up. Hit enter here, enter in front of sleep time, enter before the closing parentheses and backspace. Do the same thing in the tests to make it look neater. Enter, enter, backspace. Still green. I want the hours part of the timestamp after splitting it. And I know I can get that by using its index as covered in the video on lists. I will add a variable here, split, and assign that to 0123.split. Make a copy of this, paste, hit enter to create some space, and then select this whole thing and replace it with a reference to that variable name. It looks like this will fit on one line. I'll try it. It works. Then add self dot assert equal parentheses, and then call split. Python uses zero-based indexing. Put square brackets here. The first item should be index 0. The second will be index 1. So I put a 0 here, put a comma here, set my expectation to 0. Assertion error, 0, 1 in quotes is not equal to 1. 0, 1 in quotes is not equal to 0. Change that 0 to quotes 0, 1. And the test passes. I will make a copy of this. Control or Command C, Control or Command V to paste. Change that 0 to 1. Assertion error, 23 in quotes is not equal to 0, 1. I'll make the change as well. And the test passes. Time to update the expectation here. Square bracket 0, give me just the hours. Square bracket 0, just the hours for sleep time not split. And I have an assertion error. Duration is still returning just the splits, and now the test expects the hours. I'll make the same change. Square bracket 0 here, square bracket 0 there. And the test passes. The result of splitting the string or the timestamp is still strings. And earlier on when I tried to subtract one string from another, I got a type error. I'm going to add a test to see if I can convert a string to a number. df test underscore converting underscore strings underscore to underscore numbers parentheses self a colon at the end. Hit enter, self dot assert equal parentheses. I'm going to try the int constructor, int parentheses quotes 0, 1. And then put a comma here, set my expectation to 0. I get an assertion error. 1 is not equal to 0. So numbers with a leading 0 get converted to just a number. I will make a copy of this line. Control or Command C, Control or Command V to paste below. Change the 0, 1 to 23. Assertion error. 23 is not equal to 1. I will change it to match. And the test passes. I will add this to the expectation here. Put int, shift, and left parentheses. Do the same thing for sleep time. Dot split int, shift, and parentheses. I get an assertion error. Duration returns the hours as strings, but the test expects them as numbers. I will make the same change. Parentheses here, int in front of it. And sleep time, put in, shift, and parentheses. The test passes. I think I'm ready to do the calculation. Remove the comma here, second line backspace, minus, and go to the left of it, space, space, space to line it up. Assertion error. Duration is returning two numbers. The test expects the number on the right, which is the difference of the two numbers. When I hit save, two different numbers. The difference is right. Hit save, two different numbers. The difference is correct. Two different numbers with a correct difference again. Last time, yes, everything looks good. I will make the same change to duration. Remove the comma, backspace the second line, minus, put a space, come to the left of the minus and space, space. Too many spaces. 1, 2 spaces to line it up. And the test passes. It is celebration time. These two lines look the same to me. The only thing that changes is the timestamp. I will create a function for it. Select the whole thing. I can click on the icon here, select extract method, or right click, select refactor, and then extract method. I'm going to call this one get underscore hour. Hit enter to rename it. The tests are still passing. I will change the second line to get underscore hour, sleep time in parentheses. Still green. Come down to the new function here and rename the input parameter. I want something more generic. Hit F2, call it timestamp. Hit enter. Still green. I'll select the whole thing and then hold down Alt or Option on the keyboard, and with the up arrow move it to the top of the file. Hit enter twice at the end. Still green. In the test, wake hour is assigned to random or randint. Same thing with sleep hour, and they only used once in wake time and sleep time. I can call random or randint directly instead. Select wake hour, paste to replace it, select sleep hour, and paste to replace that as well. Still green. I'm going to remove wake hour and sleep hour. I don't need them anymore. The assignments for wake time and sleep time are exactly the same. I will make a function to do it. Control or Command C to copy, go to the top of the file, come below the import statement, enter twice, up once, def random underscore time stamp parentheses or colon at the end. Hit enter, return, and paste. Now I can come back down to the test, and wake time will now be the result of calling random underscore time timestamp, parentheses. And sleep time will be the result of calling random underscore timestamp, parentheses. All tests are still passing. What a beautiful life. The challenge is to write a program that calculates the difference between a given wake and sleep time. I ran the following test to get something that comes close to doing it. Test string splitting, where I use the split method to split a timestamp. I found this by calling the help system. And I indexed the list I got from splitting the string to get the hours part. I test converting strings to numbers using the int constructor. And I test duration with random numbers for the 24 hours in the day, interpolated those numbers into the timestamps that are sent to the duration function, and I test that it subtracts the hour for sleep time from the hour for wake time. I also encountered the following exceptions: assertion error, type error, name error, and attribute error. Would you like to test duration with hours and minutes? I will see you in the next one.